Season high 139 rushing yards against this Eagles defense last week. Then Monday night, as Philadelphia fell from the ranks of the unbeaten, Brian Robinson had a season high with 86 rushing yards, and that bruising touchdown run gave Washington a lead ball. And he's got the guy to do it. So the Eagles have gone out and gotten themselves some reinforcements. They've signed Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph this week. They're bringing those guys in for a reason, because since Jordan Davis, their rookie, got hurt, they've not been able to stop anybody. They go from a top 5 rushing defense with Davis on the field to a bottom 5 unit when he's not. So with them getting set to play the Colts this weekend, RC, the topic fatal flaw, that's the term that was used to describe their run defense. Is that something that could get the Eagles knocked? It's Super Bowl or bust when you start this well. Could that flaw get them knocked out somewhere along the way?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you look at some of the teams that are in the NFC, whether it be Minnesota, or whether it be the San Francisco 49ers or the Dallas Cowboys, these are all teams that can run the football extremely well. I mean, we start to see Ezekiel Elliott get off late in that game against the Philadelphia Eagles in primetime early on this season. And when you go back to the Washington Commanders on Monday night, it was Brian Robinson. They're able to convert 3rd and 1s. It was the tough running on the goal line, also keeping the football away from this very explosive Philadelphia Eagles offense. And so if you are the Eagles, you think to yourself, how can I be beat? How can I be attacked? And the way that you can be is by the running game. And so if you're smart and you're Howie Roseman, who has built a hell of a roster, you make sure you shore that up.
And again, they're going up against our buddy Jeff Saturday. We joke all the time here about how much he wanted to run the ball. So put the picks up on the screen, because we've got some surprising support for the Fighting Saturdays as they get to take on the Eagles. We'll see the picks there. But yesterday, you gave me your bold prediction, Inco. You said you believe the Colts win this game, and Sacho was riding with you. Why?
Yeah, well, Indy can beat Philly if Taylor can trailer the load and hope to not implode, as Saturday anxiously and majestically tries to defy the old play caller, Bill Collar.
Okay.
Whoa.
See,
I have no idea what that means. No. I'm done.
So here's the thing.
I tried to write that down. It didn't work out.
Look what I've started here. You don't make me regret doing this. Why do the Colts win this game?
I regret it already.
The running game.
Not because of that.
The running game.
I'm looking at you like you're crazy, because I think everything in the world seems to line up for the Eagles here. The Colts off emotion, the terrible Raiders. Well, how can they win this?
Everything except the Eagles' fatal flaw, which is their run game. I get it. Ndamukong Suh is now on the team. He also hasn't played all season long. So it's one thing to be in shape, running and lifting, nothing to be in football shape.
Yeah.
Number 2, Linval Joseph, they just signed him. This defense hasn't been able to stop the run. And so, yes, down the line, Suh will be a great fit, but for now, he may not be ready, number 1. Number 2, the Colts ran for over 200 yards last week. That's their largest output all season long, and that's who they are going to be. They will run the rock. They will pass it short. They will keep the ball out of Matt Ryan's hands as far as when it comes to getting sacked. They will run the rock, and the Eagles right now cannot stop it.
Pryor, Eagles.
I'm going with the Eagles. I've been calling them the Philadelphia Monstars, because here's the thing. The Monstars in a best of 7 would have beaten Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes squad, and that's why I think that the Eagles are going to continue to win.
Wow. Best of 7? They would have beat the...
I think so. I think so. They're the Monstars for a reason. Special stuff runs out. I think when they add guys like Suh, like Joseph, secret stuff can only go so far.
We're going to have to debate that a little later in the show. Yeah, super quick, Nico.
I claim no bars.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
but Jonathan Taylor, I feel like he can maybe set them apart, and hopefully in that running game can give him a little edge here.
Okay.
And Saturday.
Next time we'll be with that.
Come on, RC, give me some love, baby.
No. We've lost RC on the whole monster.
Pat, take it away.
First down.
Eagles at Colts.
Eagles at Colts. That is correct. The overhead coach in Colts history to win his first 2 games with the team. Jim Caldwell and the Eagles to win this football game. I'm sorry, Jeff Saturday. I know I said that they would go 8-0, but that was more of a joke than it was realistic.
Hey, Jay, how much do you think the signing of Ndamukong Suh helps the Eagles here?
I love that for them, man. I mean, look, Jordan Davis, when he comes back, look at what this defensive front line can be. And, shout out to Howie Roseman. I mean, I keep going back to this. It was only a couple years ago, people wanted to roast him when everything was happening with Carson Wentz, making the move about Jalen Hurts, letting go of their head coach, bringing in Nick Sirianni. Now you get A.J. Brown, you get Robert Quinn, you sign Ndamukong Suh, move after move after move. they are positioning themselves to win the Super Bowl this year.
If you're an Eagles fan, you got to be such a jerk
You're
to go
all
at
in.
Howie Roseman. The dude brought you the only Super Bowl ever in your franchise history. Then he follows that up by completely remaking the team, and boom, you're right back. That's a lot. I'll tell you what, Ndamukong Suh, guys, that's depth on that defensive line, man. You can't. I saw when the Giants won Super Bowls, they had depth in the interior of their line at the pass rushers spots. I like that. I like the pickup. All right. You can tune into a football doubleheader Sunday, by the way, as the Colts host the Eagles, followed by Raiders at Broncos. Coverage begins at noon Eastern on Select ESPN.
Been much worse than we've seen him throughout his career. Yeah, I'm sure you want to have the communication be better between Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb in the red zone when he throws the first pick to Ford, or in the middle of the field, something Dan and I detailed on Touchscreen Tuesday, when he's thinking that he's going to keep the football up the field with CeeDee Lamb, who's going to bend it, and CeeDee Lamb does something different. I think there were just some communication issues that they need to shore up and make sure, if you're going to have this sort of freedom in the offense, that your quarterback and your number one receiver are on the same page. The other thing is this: if you're Kellen Moore, and we screamed, everybody said it, Kellen Moore, remember what sort of offensive coordinator you were when you had Cooper Rush. Be that same guy, but now do that with Dak Prescott and allow him to elevate you above where Cooper Rush did. That's not throwing the football 46 times when Tony Pollard is running the skin off of the football, or when Davis is getting 8 yards a pop. Continue to do what got you there, and I think they changed some of those things. But as far as Dak Prescott, I believe he's playing fine. I think he's playing well. Some decisions have to be different. Communication needs to be better. But as a whole, they lost that game against the Green Bay Packers. And there are deficiencies on this team, but the one I'm least worried about is Dak Prescott.
Absolutely. I mean, if I were to say that I've got Dak's back, because they're talking smack, but the flack is whack, he's going to bounce back and get the Cowboys' attack back on top of the pack. If I were to say that, Sacha, what would your reaction be?
It'd be this, like, bravo. Like,
Who say the
I'm here to tell you.
The hip to the hip?
Yeah, drop Mike down.
Mike down. At the end of the way, yeah. So let me
Drop the mic.
I don't even remember my question.
No, so to your point, no, Dak is not the issue. Dak,
Right.
I think, is back in a lot of ways, but the defense isn't. Simple as that. 207 rushing yards given up last game, 240 the game before that. Over the last 4 games, averaging 175 yards given up. And that involves staying in your gap. That involves not being the guy who's trying to make a hero play, but doing your job. That involves guys getting healthy, right? Michael Parsons has been injured, and it's been obvious. I want him to get back healthy. Those are the things that need to be solved if the Cowboys want to get back on track.
And so, Ninko, let me ask you this. Because if it's about the defense, and they're going up against a really good offense, if you're on the Dallas defense this week, is this a game about stopping Justin Jefferson, or is it a game about stopping Dalvin Cook?
It's stopping Dalvin Cook, because in the last 2 weeks, you've averaged 223 yards on the ground defensively. That's way too much. And Dalvin Cook last week had 119 yards on the ground against Buffalo. So coming into this matchup, we cannot let them run the football all over us, because then it opens up all the other stuff that they want to do down the field. So again, stopping the run early, and I'm not going to try and attempt to do any rhyming, because I didn't have time to write down anything. Okay, I'm not doing it.
But you gave me a number in the meeting this
Under
morning.
100 yards. Under 100 yards. If you keep them under 100 yards, it helps you. It gives you a chance. If you let them run for over 100, everything else is open.
So that's the line right there. Ninko said it to me. 99 yards rushing, and the Cowboys win. We'll put the picks up on the screen. RC, go.
How do you suggest they stop Dalvin Cook, though? Do you truly think you're going to put 8 men in the box when Kirk Cousins walks up to the line staring at Justin Jefferson? He don't look off ever. Kirk Cousins is staring at Justin Jefferson. They got safeties rolled over there. He snaps the ball. He don't even look at the snap, y'all, because he's staring at Justin Jefferson. And he throws it to him. And he's covered all the time because teams are doubling him. People are on top of his head. He had the greatest three-handed catch of all time on 4th and 18. And so what we're going to do if we're the Dallas Cowboys,
Pat, take it away.
First down.
Eagles at Colts.
Eagles at